It is the curtain raiser for the Premier League season, the Community Shield. It's between Man City and Leicester as Premier League winners and FA Cup winners, respectively, last season. So what can we expect from Shaka, Hislop? What are you going to be looking out for?
Kay, it's an odd one this season, more so than most. Listen, the Community Shield is a curtain raiser, and it doesn't really, for me, represent anything like what maybe you can expect, and we've seen that. Especially when big clubs meet. The oddity this year comes to the early start of this season, the Euros, a number of big name players which would affect Manchester City, certainly more than Leicester City, being laid back. Do you include them from the start? Do you bring them on? Do you bring them on late just to get a few minutes? Or do you just leave them out and wait for the start of the season for those players, whoever they may be, for their full introduction? And that's one that Pep Guardiola is quite clearly going to have to wait. It's a big opportunity for Leicester City as FA Cup winners, as a team that faltered towards the back end of last season and saw themselves fall out of the top four. Speculation continues around James Maddison and his future at the club. And I think a win here means far more to Leicester City and that dressing room than it does to Manchester City for all those reasons. It's a bigger game for them, and I think you'll see that approach. And while I'm not at all sure what you can expect from Manchester City, because that will all be weighed up on the training ground and decisions made with fitness specialists in mind, this is a game that I think Leicester take far more seriously. And right now, listen, I don't pretend that Leicester City over the long term are a better team than Manchester City, but right now, just kind of given that the gravity of it, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see Leicester come out as winners.
Yeah, because obviously you said it doesn't tell us too much about the season, and that's true, especially with some of the absences. But winning any type of silverware has to be a big boost for a team, especially stepping into a new season, right, Shaka?
Absolutely, without question. And again, that winning silverware means, this silverware anyway, means a whole lot more to Leicester City than it does Manchester City. So again, that leans into why I think Leicester have every single chance of coming out as winners here.
Lastly, there are some reports that if Jack Grealish, the deal to Manchester City, gets done, we could see him. That would make this a much more interesting game, wouldn't it?
It certainly would. And it may give us some kind of an idea as to how Pep Guardiola may use Jack Grealish. But again, a transfer coming through, being completed this late, if it does, even if it goes ahead on time, I don't think he'll be included from the start. Maybe he'll be introduced later on. And at that point, we're not sure. Again, we're all speculating here. We're not sure who's still on the park, where Jack Grealish will play, if he does, and how he plays and how he functions within that setup. So we are speculating, particularly around Grealish, speculating quite wildly, but it will be good to see him in a City shirt and maybe get a hint as to how he plays in Guardiola's, or how he fits in Guardiola's system.
Yeah, maybe we'll stop speculating once we see a bit of football, but it is silly season, and that's what we like doing when it comes to the transfer window.
It is that time of year. We have no choice.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.